What do you, what are your thoughts as we look ahead to the 2024 upcoming IndyCar season?
Yeah, I think, we're looking forward to it. We've had a productive off season. I think sort of reviewing where we needed to improve last year. Looking forward to, what the different car specs will bring next year. So sort of start the year with the non-hybrid lighter spec, so still different than last year. And then at
Mhm.
some point switch to the hybrid spec, which will be heavier and different weight distribution. So that does a lot to us on the setup side, but really looking forward to improving where we were weak, improving on things we need to improve upon, and hopefully have a strong year where we can compete for the championship, compete for 500s and wins.
I was gonna say last season you guys had some good runs and a great year overall. What are your thoughts as you look back on 2023?
I think it's not it wasn't exactly what we were hoping for, probably.
Okay.
It was still a strong year though when you reflect on, where we were with points and average finishing position and average start position. So I think from the previous year, we actually improved quite a bit on the five side. And really as a team, we expanded a lot. We expanded to the third car, added a load of people. So there's a
Hmm.
lot of just getting everyone onboarded. So I think really, I think we can walk away from last year proud that we brought a lot of consistency. We were almost always on the podium or close to the podium. But there's still a lot of things to learn from it. And I think we've done a good job this off season of trying to learn, trying to improve, and go into this coming year with better chance to win.
What do you feel that you guys need to work on compared to last year so that way you get hit those goals that you want to for 2024?
I think a big part of it, honestly, is just starting. Last year we took a very big step in consistency, like showing up at each track close,
Hmm.
which was a big step from the previous year. So I think we can just kind of build off that. And, that's what the big teams do. The Ganassis and the Penske's, they just show up and they're always from practice one, more or less in the window. And I think last year we took a very big step to be that, to get closer to that. And so I think that's something that we can work on. We sort of found last year and throughout the year things that Pato specifically was really sort of queuing off of and liking from the car. And then, it's just down to all the little things for actually execution, whether it's pit stops or strategy or, a better car. So we've just looked at all of that really sort of as a holistic view and what we can do better to achieve those results that we ultimately want, which is winning.
What track are you most excited to get to on the schedule?
I think the easiest one's Indy.
Of
um,
course.
it's just such a cool event, with all the people that show up. I have to love Indy. I'd say outside of Indy, um, I'm kind of a fan. I just personally really like the short ovals. I think it's such a good race for IndyCar. Like the races that Iowa puts on, going back to Milwaukee this year, I think will be fun. So yeah, outside of Indy, I'd probably say short ovals, Iowa or Milwaukee. Looking forward to.
How did your interest in motorsports develop?
So I started, I think it was when I was 5 years old. My
Okay.
dad had a friend at his job that his son raced go-karts. And so it just sort of started one day very young, where I was like, let's go watch his son race. And then we kind of driving home, I just remember the conversation of like, would you want to give this a try? So then it went from watching his son race to renting a go-kart. And then same thing, had a conversation on the way home. It's like, well, what did you think? And it's like, well, I'd really like to do that. So we sort of stopped, like soccer and t-ball and
Right.
started go-karting. So it really started at a quite young age, go-karting, 5, 6 years old. I did that for pretty much all the way up till I think the first year in college. And
Okay.
I'd say towards the end of like high school, college, I was just much more interested in like when we did changes to the go-kart or cars that I drove, how it felt and
Hmm.
why it was doing that. And so I just sort of naturally went from, I guess, driving, getting the interest in motorsport that way to, the engineering side of it of like, why did certain changes feel certain ways or that type of thing. So it kind of started grassroots level go-kart racing.
And then just kind of built it with the interest as you
Yeah,
developed more into the motorsports.
yeah.
So what's been your most memorable moment in motorsports to date with everything that you've been able to do?
Just like throughout my career.
Yeah, throughout your career.
Um, I'd say one of them would have to be the first win that I was a part of in IndyCar, which was I was the sort of systems engineer, performance engineer with Justin Wilson. We won Texas. It was
Okay.
just a very memorable win, sort of your first time ever winning an IndyCar. It was Justin Wilson's first win on an oval. Um, it was just very cool to be a part of and just see the team atmosphere and how that worked in IndyCar because it's so hard, it's so competitive. Within Arrow McLaren, I think well, Long Beach was very special. A win. It's just a very cool place to win at. There's so
Hmm.
many, to be honest. I was a performance engineer when Alan McDonald and James Hinchcliffe were on pole here at Indianapolis 2016. Yeah, there's just been a lot here between those. Pato's first win at Texas was very special. Um, but yeah, I would say my very first one was probably Justin Wilson. Just being a part of, my first win in IndyCar was very a special moment.
So compared to other drivers that you've worked with, what stands out about Pato?
I think Pato has just an immense amount of talent. He's a very special character. It's just very natural. Like how he senses the car and can find lap time is different than I've worked with in the past, and it's probably a very rare thing to sort of come by. I think he's just very special in that sense of what he feels, how he translate that, how he adapts very naturally and very quickly to what the car needs is very cool and fun to work with from that side.
We spoke about Indianapolis, and as a team, you guys are adding Kyle Larson as a additional driver for that event. What does it mean to you to have bring him into the team for that race?
I think it's very special for the whole team to add someone like Kyle. He's done absolutely everything, it seems like, in his racing career, which is so cool. In today's day and age, it's sort of like, IndyCar drivers, more or less stick in IndyCar. They might do a sports car race, and NASCAR drivers kind of stick with NASCAR, and they might do like a truck series race. But Kyle does like everything.
Yeah.
He drives pretty much anything with wheels and is really good at it. So it's very cool to have him on board. And I think he'll bring a lot of experience from his background. It may not be Indy specific, but I think he has an immense amount of experience with just racing and winning and championships that is valuable and will add a lot to the program, I think.
Last question for you this afternoon. What piece of advice would you give to aspiring race strategists out there that one day hope to be in your shoes?
I think just keep with it, really. It's such a hard industry to, I think, at all levels really to sort of break into.
Right.
And so just keep trying, be persistent. When career or jobs open up or internships open up, just keep at it and be very persistent with it. I myself, I was at the last year of college and couldn't find a team that wanted to hire me, just to like basically walk in the door and sweep the floors. And finally, a team took the chance, and it's sort of gone on from there. But yeah, like I said, I would just be very persistent. It's a very tough field to sort of break into, but once you're in there, it's a very cool community that is very supportive, and it's just sort of all about one goal, and the sort of team just heads towards a goal. So once you get in, it's a cool industry to be a part of and be around, but it can take a little while to get in. So just keep your head down, keep trying, keep sending the resumes, and keep working at it. Hopefully, hopefully a job opens up.